Hi everyone, welcome to the playing guide for the Prelude in C BWV.846, composed by Johann Sebastian Bach. My name is Werner Richards. I am a music educator in South Africa from WRMStudio. As you can see here on the screen, we have the Prelude. It's only 55 measures long, so it's quite a short prelude to play, but it's got a lot of notes. Hopefully with this playing guide you will be able to learn it much easier, much quicker, and have fun learning it, and might even change your mind on how you think about music from here on. Let's start. Right, who is Johann Sebastian Bach? Bach is a Baroque period composer. He lived most of his life in Germany, Leipzig and Weimar. He was about 65 years of age when he died, and the dates there is 1685 up until 1750 that he lived. He is considered to be one of the most important contributors to the Baroque period, as one of the most important composers in the history of Western music. Basically, he helped shape the way music was perceived after the Baroque period, came the classical period as well as the Romantic period. He's well known for a lot of his works that he composed. Some of them are the well-tempered clavier books, which we are going to do the first prelude out of today, as well as some church music, as he was employed by a lot of churches as well as patrons tied closely to the church. He had to compose a lot of church music, but he did not only do that, he composed a lot of secular music during his lifetime as well. If we look at the well-tempered clavier books, we'll see that it is a set of teaching books. It contains 48 pieces divided into preludes and fugues. It's got 2 volumes, one volume 24 pieces, second volume 24 pieces, basically 12 preludes and fugues each. And it goes through every key signature and style of the Baroque period. So it is quite a well-rounded book to learn and play. The first volume was written in 1722, with a second volume that only came about 20 years later in 1742. And in the prologue of the books, Bach made an inscription that said, "For the profit and use of musical youth desirous of learning." And that is exactly what these books are about. If we look at their design and structure, we'll see with the opening bars of this prelude, it consists mainly of broken chords with no distinguishable melody. So there's no melody we can latch on to anticipate which harmonies will come next. So it makes it quite interesting to play, but also difficult for some that rely a lot on a melody within a piece. So basically it's based on the increasing and decreasing harmonic tension between each harmonic progression. So we have a progression that goes throughout the piece from bars 1 up until bars 35. Bar 1 have a harmonic structure, bar 2 have a new structure, and in between we have that progression. And that's where the increase and decrease of harmonic tension takes place every time. And this is key to remember, because if we want to play it and really respect the composer intention, we need to take note of this important element. If we look at the prelude structure, we'll see that we can divide it into 4 sections. First section is the section marked in blue. It is from bars 1 up until bars 4, and this is also called the opening section, with the second section following from bars 5 up until bars 11, as well as the third section that goes from bars 12 up until bars 19. And then finally, the fourth section goes from bars 20 to bars 35. Now, how did I get to 4 sections within this music? I relied on my theory, skills, and knowledge, and I made a harmonic reduction of this piece. And this is the harmonic progression that takes place throughout the piece from bars 1 up until bars 35. Now, I'm not going to go into depth within this video on how I analyzed and dissected the piece, but just to quickly show you, 4 sections can be defined. Here we have the home key, which is C major, followed by a modulation to G major, as we can see there by the use of a F sharp, followed by a modulation to F major, as we can see there by the use of a B flat, and then modulating and relieving and creating tension throughout the piece from bars 20 up until bars 55, where we have a variety of flats, E flats, we have F sharp again, and then right at the end here we modulate back to C with a nice cadential progression 4, 5, 1. What does this all mean? Why do we need this in order to play the piece? Well, we don't really need it to play the piece, but I took this unique perspective to show you that if you struggle, a lot of people struggle, a lot of my students struggle as well when they have to learn this piece to get it into their fingers, underneath their fingers and into their mind and follow the progressions, because there's no melodic line, as I stated earlier. So what we can do with this information I'm going to show you later, we are going to break it into sections, and we are going to utilize that in order to learn it much easier and quicker. Now, if we quickly take a look at the rhythm of a prelude, we'll see that we're going to play note for note. If we count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and or taffe, tefe, taffe, tefe, we'll see that the rhythm will go taffe, tefe, taffe, tefe, taffe, tefe, taffe, tefe, taffe, tefe, taffe, tefe. Now I wish it was that easy just to play a note for each tap or for each count that we do. Unfortunately, we have to take note of where the right hand plays and where the left hand plays. Now if we take a close look at the right hand, we'll see that we have a 8th note rest, which counts for the ta and the fe, or the 1 and the and, whichever you'd like to use. And we're not going to play there, we're going to be silent. We're only going to start on the 2nd count up until the and of a 4th, or the te to the fe. So it's going to go like this: ta fe te fe ta fe te fe ta fe te fe ta fe te fe. And that's for the right hand. Now if we look at the left hand, we'll see that we have a first note we play, but we need to hold down that note up until the last count. But we are going to play another note on the 2nd count, the and of a 1 or the first fe. But we are also going to hold down that note up until the end. So it's going to go like this: ta fe te fe ta fe te fe. Taffe, tefe, taffe, tefe. So the left hand, we can see by the rhythm, it's actually quite easy to play. We just need to remember to hold down those notes while we play. So if we put it in together, we're going to do 2 notes in the left hand, and then the right hand is going to do the tefe, taffe, tefe, and it's going to go like this: taffe, tefe, taffe, tefe, taffe, tefe, taffe, tefe. And there we get that note for note on each count we need to play. Of course, this is only the first 2 beats of a bar that's on the screen. That's why I've written ×2. So we're going to repeat this 2 times. So basically what I did is I simplified the rhythm so that we don't need to do complex counting when we learn this piece. What I've done now is I've made an harmonic reduction of each section. Basically what I did is I condensed all the notes together to just show harmonies in each bar. Now what's nice about this piece is because it has a repeating rhythmic structure. There's no changes that we need to anticipate. If we have that rhythm underneath our fingers, all we need to do is learn the harmonic progression, harmonies going from one bar to the next, etc. Now I've included here fingering that I've worked out for this piece, fingering that makes it a lot easier to learn and play as well. You don't have to follow these fingering as I have it here, as long as you have some sort of structure where you learn the piece much more easier. And remember where your fingers go. Fingering helps us solely for the purpose to know where our hands go, so that we don't stumble on the notes, so that we don't lose that vigor in the piece when we perform it. So let's have a look at the first section then. The right hand first, we are going to start on G, C and E, and we're going to use our first, second and fourth finger, which is followed by 1, 3, and 5. So now we're just going to move our thumb to A and play our 3rd and 5th finger. Move our thumb back to G, and then play our 2nd and 4th finger in the place of our 3rd and 5th. So as you can see, it makes it quite easier to learn. I'm going to do it one more time. Then for our left hand, we have the C and E, and we're going to start with our 3rd finger on C and our 1st on E, and we're going to play, followed by our 2nd and our 3rd finger, 2nd and our 4th finger, and then back to 1 and 3. Going to do it one more time. 1, 3, 2, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3. Let's put it together. Right, so the first section is a fairly easy section to learn and play. I've made exactly the same for the harmonic reduction of the second section, with some fingering that works great, as well as condensed all the notes together just to show the harmonies. Now, let's have a look at the right hand. We are going to do now A, E, and A, followed by 1, 2, and 4 on F sharp, A and D, followed by 1, 3, and 5, 1, 2, and 5, E, G, and C. We're going to repeat this chord again. Then we're going to shift our 2nd finger to F sharp and our thumb to D, and then shift our 3rd finger to G, 5th finger on B. Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, and 4, 1, 3, and 5, 1, 2, and 5. Repeat. Shift thumb and 2nd finger. Shift 3rd finger and 5th. Right, our left hand, we are going to start again on C and E, 3rd and 1st finger, and we're going to play a nice sequence that walks down. This is actually very nice to play. When you've learned it as well, these fingerings will really help you stress less about what notes comes next. 1 and 3, 2 and 3, 2 and 4, 3 and 4, 3 and 5. Now we are going to move our 2nd finger to our 5th finger and put our 5th finger on D. And now our hand is in already ready position for 1st and 3rd finger, and that's it. Let's do it one more time, followed by 2 and 3, 2 and 4, 3 and 4, 3 and 5. Shift 2nd finger, finish off. If we put our hands together, we're going to start A, E, and A, followed by 1, 2, and 4, followed by 1, 3, and 5, 2 and 4, 1, 2, and 5. Repeat right hand, left hand, 3 and 5. Move left hand, right hand, and then finish off. If we have a look at section 3's harmonic reduction from measures 12 up until measures 19, now things start to get a little bit more dicey, a little bit more accidentals to read, as well as a wider range on the keyboard that we need to be aware of and where we are going to play. Still not too difficult. Right, let's start with our right hand. Our right hand, we are going to start on E, G, and F sharp, 1, 2, and 4. Not F sharp, C sharp. Here we go. Now look closely. We're going to open up our hand. We are going to close our hand. Now we're going to open up our hand again. Next we are going to close our hand, but this time we need to move our hand down to get to the A. We are going to repeat this chord. Use our fifth finger as a pivot to get to B and G. And now we finish with 3 and 5. Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, and 4, E, G, C sharp. Open up hand. Close hand. Open up hand. Move hand down to get to A. Repeat this chord. Nice time to rest and take note on what comes next. Pivot. And end with 1, 3, and 5 on G, C, and E. For our left hand, we are going to have a nice walk down again. This time it's almost chromatic. The walk down, and the fingering can be a little bit confusing, but overall it works quite well. So we have the second finger on B flat, third finger on G, as like that, and we're going to play, followed by 2 and 4 on F and A, 3 and 4, and 3 and 5. As you can see, I use one of my fingers at all times as a pivot to keep track on where I am. Then 4, 5. Now I need to move my hand so that I play first finger on F, second finger on D. Now I can just extend my fifth finger to G and again end on 1 and 3. Let's look at it one more time. Second finger B flat, third finger G, followed by 2 and 4, 3 and 4, 3 and 5, 4 and 5, moving my hand, first finger to F, second finger to D, extending my fifth finger to G, and ending with 1 and 3 on C and E again. Now, if we put them both hands together, it's going to go like so. 2 and 3, open up hand, close right hand, 3 and 4, open up right hand again, 3 and 5, move only right hand to get to the A, repeat right hand, move left hand, 1 and 2, pivot right hand, extend fifth finger, end on 1 and 3 and 1, 3 and 5. Right, the last and final section, section 4, is from bars 20 up until the end, which is 55. Now this is quite a long section to learn straight off So what I've done here is I have made it into 4 separate sections. Section 4.1, which is the first 4 bars, 20 to 24. And here again it gets a little bit more difficult as well, because here we have the flats, the sharps. We've got a natural F sharp that becomes F natural. So here we need to concentrate a little bit more. Let's start with our right hand. Right hand is going to be 1, 2, and 4. Thumb on B flat, C, and E. Opening up 1, 2, and 5. 4th finger on E flat. And then shifting our hand to play 3, 4, and 5. One more time. 1, 2, and 4. Followed by 1, 3, and 5, A, C, F. 2nd finger on E flat. Moving 3, 4, and 5 to C, D, and B. Our left hand starts thumb on G sharp, not G sharp. Our left hand starts thumb on G, 5th finger on C, and here we need to do a little bit of acrobatics with our left hand. 1 and 5. Now we need to play F and F, followed by our thumb on C and our 4th finger on F sharp, followed by our thumb on F natural at the top and our 3rd finger on A flat. One more time. 1 and 5, C, G, followed by 1 and 5, F and F, octave, followed by 1 and 4, followed by 1 and 3. If we put it hands together, it's going to go like this. B flat, C, E, 5, 1 and 5. Opening up. Moving. Right, our second section in section 4 is from bars 24 up until bars 27. Now this is again a very easy section as harmonic tension is released. There's no sharps, no flats to be played. Our right hand starts on 5, 3, and 1, D, B, and G, followed by 1, 3, and 5, using my thumb as a pivot, using my thumb as a pivot again, and then ending with 1, 2, and 5, G, B, and F. I'm going to show you again. 1, 3, and 5. Pivoting again, and then ending 1, 2, and 5. Our left hand is going to play F and G, not F and F, don't make that mistake, F and G, followed by moving our thumb to E, moving our, now playing our 2nd finger with G, and repeating D and G. So our left hand here is quite easy. Let's do it one more time. F and G, E and G, D and G, repeat D and G. Putting your hands together. Moving our hands. Moving our hands again. and lastly if we look at the third section, the second to last section, from bars 29 up until bars 32, here we have again one or two accidentals to consider. We've got the E natural and we've got A B flat. So a little bit more tension that builds up here. Left hand is still quite easy to play, right hand not bad too. Let's look at the right hand first. So we're going to start on G, C and G. Now we're just going to move our fifth finger to F, move our second finger to B, and then finally play B flat and our fourth finger on E. And there we can start hearing the end of the piece. One more time, 1, 2 and 5, followed by 1, 2 and 5 again. And then 1, 2 and 4. Our left hand, we are going to start on E natural, not E flat, as well as G, 1 and 5, 2 and 5, repeat 2 and 5, and then play octave C, 1 and 5. Easy. One more time. 2 and 5, 2 and 5, 1 and 5. Let's put it together. So it's G, C and G, 1, 2 and 5. Second finger, and then concentrate. Beautiful chord. Right, let's look at the last section, section 4.4. Now, as you can see here, I've written chords in crotchet beats. You don't necessarily have to practice it like this. I just wanted to show you. It's basically the finger configuration for playing a broken chord. And both these measures, both this measure here, shown in green, and this one here, we are playing a broken chord in the right hand that basically walks into an arpeggio. So the left hand is quite easy. I'm going to do the left hand first here. 1 and 5 on C and C, followed by B and C, and back to C and C. So C, B, C. Very easy. The right hand, we are going to start on F, and the configuration is 1, 2 and 3, 2, 3 and 5, back to 1, 2 and 3. So all I need to do is just shift my wrist a little bit, and then to play the last chord, we are going to play 5, 3, 1. I'm going to show you again. So we are going to do 1, 2 and 3, shift wrist just so that the fifth finger gets to the F, shift the wrist back a little bit more so that we have 1, 2 and 3, and then move the whole hand to play the last chord, D, F and A. For the second to last bar, bar 34, we're going to do exactly the same, 1, 2 and 3, this time starting on G, B and D. Shifting wrist, tilting wrist back. This time take care, we need to play B, F and D, 1, 3 and 5. And ending with 2, 3 and 5. Alright. Putting it together, if you want to practice it like this, 1, 2 and 3, shifting wrist, shifting wrist back. Remember to move to B for the next chord. 2 and 1, 2, 3 and 5. This time F. 1, 2 and 3. And ending with 2, 3 and 5. So with this whole section, when we play it, when we perform it and we get the rhythm right, it's going to go like this. Right, let's look at a few practicing styles to learn the notes and to fool around when we practice this piece, to keep things fresh and also learn to acquaint ourselves with the type of technique that goes into playing a piece like this. Here have a configuration of half notes, so I'm going to play with my left hand. I'm going to play both notes together. I'm going to keep it throughout the whole measure. For my right hand, I'm going to only on the last 2 beats am I going to play the harmonies for the left hand. Here we've got the opening section, and it's going to go like this. And we can repeat it twice, each measure, followed by try keep control, pressing down the notes at the same time. So that's a nice way to practice. Next playing style is using quarter notes. Make it quarter notes in the right hand, making this sound a little bit more popish. So if we play the second section, and etc. In our third style, we have broken chords, no repeat. So here we start using the rhythm of the piece itself. And if I can quickly show you this. So we've got our second and third finger. Repeat twice. And it's a good way to learn our pedal as well, if we would like to put pedal with us, and etc. So fool around with different styles and ways of practicing and learning this piece. That's the only way we basically learn and keep it retained within our memory. If we quickly have a look at the dynamic suggestions, you can use your own dynamic suggestions. I'm going to play the piece later on, perform it as well. The dynamic suggestions might not correspond with this, but just to give an idea, due to the tension, the release, and also the creation of tension within this, the harmonies, it's good to maybe start in at the beginning with a mezzo piano. Have a short crescendo, up to about mezzo forte, medium loud, go down and finish again with mezzo piano. Then start a little bit louder, again mezzo forte in the second section, and have a long line up until the end of section 2, where we end again with mezzo piano. From there on we can have mezzo forte again, down up until mezzo piano at the end of section 3, and then section 4 has, because it has a modulating section, the first few bars followed by building up of tension right up until the end of the final cadence. We can use mezzo piano, crescendo, going louder up until here about measures 23, release the tension, go down again to medium soft, start nice and soft, not too soft, not pianissimo, piano, build it up straight through the piece and end with either a mezzo forte or a forte. Mezzo forte will work best, medium loud. Forte will be I think a little bit too loud. Right, let's quickly look at a few good performance tips. A few good performance tips for this piece is that we should remember that the note should be sustained for the exact length of the written values. Meaning that if it's a 16th note, don't hold it longer, because it's a note for note work. If we suspend the notes, we will change the rhythm. And if we change the rhythm, the piece might not be recognizable. We are going to create varying degrees of tension with our dynamics, and in doing this we are going to create good phrasing. That's what I showed now with some sort of dynamic structure. So work out a dynamic structure, work where you want to go louder and softer, either with your own teacher or by yourself, or using my model here, and you will be able to make it a very good performance. Things must not sound so mechanical, not the same dynamics over and over and over from the beginning to the end. The relationship between the chords should be heard and not between the 16th notes. That's very important, and that I want to tie to the fact that if we play note for note and we don't put in some dynamic or some varying form that emphasize the tension between the harmonic structure, we are going to make this sound extremely mechanical. Notes forming with each chord should sound as equal as possible. This is very important. Take care not to emphasize any of the notes. Remember, there's no melodic line. There's no reason for us to emphasize any of these notes. No upper pitches, no echoes, no nothing. An important factor here is that the tempo should be carefully considered when we do this piece. If we play too fast, we are going to make it sound like if we are trying to be virtuosic in performing this piece, instead of conveying the message that the composer wants. If we play too slow, it's going to sound extremely mechanical. And not just that, we are going to concentrate not on the progression of the chords, but actually on one note at a time. A very important factor is that there is a ornamentation that was written in one of the earliest scores that was found, a mordant in bar 34. And this actually helps serve to emphasize the final cadence, and it's played from main note E, F, E. With my performance, I will include this mordant, and if you like it, you can include it in your performance as well. Thank you for watching this video. If you like what you see and you would like to see more, please get in contact with me. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Pop in regularly to see if there's any new videos on music theory, on scales, on technical issues, anything that might help you play your instrument better. You can also visit my website, my social networks. I've got a website. You can click on the link that says WRMStudio website. I'm on Facebook as well. I do a lot of nice extra information for everyone that likes my page. I'm on Google Plus as well. You can go there and look what I do there. I'm on Patreon too. If you like to become a patron of what I do, it would be much appreciated. And then as well, if you want to buy this lesson, you are more than welcome to do so. Get in contact, leave your email. I can forward all the details. Or you can visit the WRMStudio website, and there will be instructions on how to get the full package. In the full package, you'll not only get this video, you will get my reductions in a nice neat PDF, as well as some additional information on the piece, on Bach, etc., and what you can expect in the future.